I wanted to also share on that note how the person who is a functional adult 5D mystic, or just a person who has matured to being compassionate beyond a reason, handles those who label. So we have plenty of people that get the same kind of trauma-informed education that I share with you all. They have the same types of clairs, mysticism, all this stuff. And this is why I've decided to start talking about a 5D collective versus another collective, because the 5D collective is in favor of bringing the future to the forefront, not with the doomsday clocks or any of that. A 5D person is not in separation consciousness. So they know we're a globe, we're people, they stay grounded. Independently from clairs, you can stay grounded. If you're a mystic and you want more, there's paid subscription-based model content. Ask your questions or reach out and ask me about it, and I'll tell you more. I'm creating a landing page for it. But that's because the 4D collective don't help you to create a human experience with your clairs. And again, talking about your oversoul with words such as karmics, third parties, evil, vampires, da-da-da-da-da. No, that's not what's going on. If only they knew how to actually be Zen masters, then maybe they would be able to use their clairs effectively versus use the distortion that is coming up, because they still have childhood trauma, and so they still follow a story. And the story taints the picture, and their anger taints it as well, because they point a finger and say, I'm going to say you did it on purpose, like those movies do. And so again, we don't do stereotypes. The 5D or a Zen master is not blind. So if I have a person who's treating me in a way that is a quote-unquote game, it ain't a game. The Zen master knows you obviously don't see your structural dissociation. And I mean it not as an insult. I mean it as a person not noticing that they have structural dissociation, which is sad. It's not mad. I don't get mad when I know somebody has unresolved childhood trauma. I get sad. That's humanity for you, and that's you using education of trauma in the right way, not... Well, I actually found this really, really great group. Let's talk a minute for traditional cults or culty cults. And they have this person. They're a medium. And you know who they channel? They channel a couple of very important people. And I'm already thinking, shit, okay, what are we talking about here? Because see, a 5D collective person, mystic, will know, okay, anybody who's starting to present themselves in a certain way, it's not about you not being woo-woo, I'm woo-woo, but you are enamored with yourself, because the minute that you're voicing something which comes from the Middle Ages and you didn't go to the institution that can actually give you their seal of approval, which is why, with all respect, I share to people, hey, FYI, the religious institutions, some of them at least, have deemed Reiki the devil, evil's work. It's not. It has a history, but I just need you to know, for respect of if your belief system or your religion, whatever it is, that this is what your institution might feel. And so I'm not going to offer you my services because it's a service. I'm a professional, and I will maintain an ethical approach, which means respectfully inform a person of what they are being offered, which is what it means to be an adult. We got plenty of doctors that don't do that, and I love when I see their colleagues pointing out how to handle an asshole doctor. I got one dude I follow. I love that man. He's an anesthesiologist on YouTube. Thank goodness for social media, because you know what I know? A lot of people got a lot of free education from empowering educators versus the ones who say, I'm telling you what to do, and here, you got to listen to me. So putting that one to the side, what happens when you have people who are adaptive children emotionally? They don't know they have childhood trauma because they don't treat it this way. They don't know about structural dissociation. They don't even believe it when you speak about it, because the thought, even for me, I thought dissociation, it doesn't happen to everybody. No, it does. I was given an example, thank you, Daniel Siegel, which was you're driving down the highway, you start thinking about your trip to Hawaii, you skip your exit. That's dissociation. So people, we use words sometimes we don't know what they mean, like codependency. I don't prefer using it, but I got it explained by Patrick Teahan. I'm like, okay, so there are a lot of codependent people. They try changing each other, martyrs and superiors. I see this all over the place with couples. or taking care of each other. And I see oh, I'm going to blame myself because I didn't take care of you the way I should have taken care of you. Oh, I am going to change and impose on you therapy or impose on you. These are people that are codependent on each other, and they're being invasive, but that's where it's invasive for an independent person. You're going to have to be emotionally and mentally independent. Emotionally is the part that people don't know about, because the attachment system is what they don't learn about. Because as a teenager, when you began to get into those experiences, I know I was a teenager. I remember what my teenage friends did. I'm now an adult. I feel very happy with my emotional body. And I see a lot of adults, they stayed as teenagers, and they are the dead sure idiots about, no, I will always use my anger this way. You are against anger. No, I'm not. I actually think you can harness your body, but hey, let me step away and go ahead and do yoga and all of what is spiritual or spirituality or holistic or in the middle, and not figure out why it's working. Thank you so much, Stephen Porges, for letting me in on the little fun fact. Yoga, portfolio of ventral vagal nervous system toning exercises, which is your mammalian heritage. Lo and behold, it's being human 101. So if you don't feel special, guess what happens to the inner child that wants to feel special? Because it's not about feeling special egoically the way the movies. No, it's attachment system. When you are 0 to 7 months, I want to be seen. It's for survival. I long to be seen. I expect the actual attachment system, which is one of our motivators besides the defense system, expects to get contingent communication if only people believed in being human. But they're too busy believing in being the stars. Okay, so let me get to the topic, because otherwise I'm going to not be able to share. I get very passionate, as you can tell, because being human is awesome. It's always been alive, by the way. Consciousness is you being aware of yourself. It's not some entity or whatever. It can be reduced to a basic mathematical equation. I know, right? So boring. No, not really, because the physicists explain a lot. Neuroscientists, they all do. So the part about labels, it's not nice to be labeled. A mystic, don't like it. I'm okay with it because I don't care if somebody wants to talk about me as if I'm a whack job. I respectfully inform the people that I need to inform, because I'm an online entrepreneur, of my opinions and my experiences and the embodiment and what I am standing for, so that they may know behind who is this person. My community, I'm building a 5D collective community, so I don't need to do all that, because it's a community of people who will resonate. So when we get labeled, the mature adult, don't be like, oh my God, how dare you? Okay, the people who I was talking about, the cults, what happens when they're presenting to somebody who is a mystic, they're presenting it because they feel they can relate to you, the 4D individuals, and you immediately are aware of the red flags. Because see, a Zen master knows the difference between an empowering educator and one that is not going to empower you, because seems to me already, if you're labeling yourself in a certain way and you're presenting yourself in, that's going to be a culty cult. And if I know you're not seeing it, I already got an adaptive child who's idealizing someone, and the minute that I say anything is the minute that I become the bad person, because I just vilified the superhero of this story. And you will immediately, in fact, notice, well, here's the beautiful sentence I've always heard. Well, you're strong. Oh, you have more experience. Well, you have people you can talk to about. So long story short, labels are not fun, because nobody's a label. And even people who have had childhood trauma, like Patrick Tiahan pointed out in this lovely meme, his presentation on YouTube, there's more to people than labels. There's story. To talk about a symptom is to dishonor the story. But really, it's that a person should know that their story is important. And here's where labeling any one of us is minimizing. Adults don't label themselves, in fact. So if you find a person who's maturely going through their trauma healing, they're not going to label themselves. If they have a good therapist, they're going to know how to talk about it, because the therapist is going to help them to get comfortable with it. And they're going to want to talk about it because they're going to be a grown-up with that experience. A grown-up means you don't have shame. And this is where the shame button, I don't know it. I know a love button. But I do know that a person who becomes confident here says, yeah, you know what? I had unresolved trauma. Here's all the deal. And when somebody doesn't understand it, you know what a grown-up knows how to do? The right silence. Because we know I can't ever be in your shoes. So it's okay. You don't have to. This is because I'm emotionally mature and not insecure and needing to prove to you. How dare you? So there's a level of awareness of there's no need to how dare you. It's thank you so much, and next time, and you say goodbye.